There are millions of Minecraft farms, but which one is the biggest? I made a list of 20 mega farms, starting with the most unique ones and ending with the most massive farms you've ever seen. First on the list is the world's biggest wither farm. The withers are held in place by cages made from bedrock, which was all obtained in survival. This incredible machine was built on the Scicraft server and it's able to go through 45,000 withers per hour. That is very fast, but not as fast as the world's fastest basalt generator. It was built by Ilmango in his Peaceful series, where he pushes the limits of peaceful difficulty, and this project is the perfect example of that. It uses 8 TNT blast chambers to blow up all the basalt, and at full capacity it's able to produce a staggering 2 million basalt per hour. Even bigger is the biggest obsidian farm in existence, producing a cool 600k obsidian every hour. This clever design by Cubing Meter uses trapped withers to destroy the end pillars, which regenerate every time you summon the Ender Dragon. Building this farm in survival requires unbelievable skill, because working with withers is quite risky, and there's 53 of them here. Yeah, this farm is crazy. Almost as crazy as Ilmango's concrete machine. It works by taking concrete powder placed by the player and turning it into concrete with the help of TNT. But it gets crazier. There's also a second design which requires placing 100 blocks per second. Obviously nobody can click that fast, so you literally need command blocks to reach the full potential of this farm. Despite being quite large, it looks tiny compared to the world's biggest chorus fruit farm, which almost didn't exist. In 2016, the player Toes Redstone was messing around in his creative world when he discovered that replacing the block below a chorus flower makes it instantly grow. It didn't take long before players took this lucky discovery and turned it into an overpowered farm. But even more OP is this gold farm right here. It uses 2 separate spawning platforms connected by minecarts. That's such a creative way to use minecarts. You have to be a real genius to think of that, which Ilmango certainly is. As I promised, the farms are only growing in size. But what's even more massive than this farm is Minecraft's biggest cobblestone generator. Just finding this machine was a challenge, because it comes from China, the country with the most internet censorship in the world. Luckily, there is a YouTube channel that uploads the craziest inventions that come from the Chinese redstoners, and this cobble farm is one of them. Apparently, all you need is a bunch of cobble generators pushing blocks into the center, and you have a farm that can produce 1 million cobblestone per hour. That might seem impressive until you see the largest slime farm in all of Minecraft. Actually, something very interesting happened when I looked for huge slime farms. I found 2 designs of similar size and with basically the same drop rates. The first one is on the Scicraft server, of course, and the second one belongs to Scicraft. These 2 guys have built 24 individual slime modules, all teleporting the slimes into a single nether portal, which has a stupid amount of mobs coming in. But that's nothing compared to this insane guardian farm, which spawns so many guardians that the game starts lagging. Believe it or not, this farm was actually built to get clownfish. The clownfish used to be one of the rarest items in the game, only having a 0.05% chance of dropping from guardians. Even though the clownfish item has no use, there are certain Minecraft players, like the guys on Scicraft, who are so good at the game that they want to collect 100,000 units of every single item. Well, that sounds absolutely insane. It's nowhere near as insane as this gigantic wheat farm. Yeah, the farms only get bigger and bigger. However, this machine has one serious issue. It's not automatic. So every time you want to use it, you have to manually replant all of the wheat. But Dadusak, who would be crazy enough to do this? John Bams. In his own words, this is
the biggest, dumbest wheat farm that has ever been made.
The entire thing takes 72 real-life hours to replant, since there's over 60,000 wheat. That sounds like a lot until you see what Zetro has made. Not only has he taken my record for the largest potato farm, I'll get it back one day, don't worry, but he also holds the world record for the biggest carrot field ever. You're looking at 200,000 carrots all planted in hardcore Minecraft. The most impressive part is that Zetro didn't even have an elytra at this point. But what's even more impressive is the world's biggest witch farm. Located on the Scicraft server, this farm consists of 4 separate witch huts, all of which generated this close to one another. If you're a good Minecraft player, this is the most important farm because it produces redstone, perhaps the most essential resource when building farms. Now let's take a look at the biggest gold farm in history. This giant lives on the Voidcraft server and it uses sliced nether portals to produce a staggering 1.6 million items every hour. If you had this much gold in real life, you'd literally be a trillionaire. The reason why sliced nether portals are so OP is because when you teleport a mob into a different dimension, it allows for new mobs to spawn. This ice storage holds an unbelievable 36 million ice blocks, all of which come from the biggest ice farm ever. It took the players on Scicraft over 6 weeks just to assemble it, not to mention the time spent designing it, making the perimeter, setting up the storage. You get the point. This ice generator is so overpowered that it needs to have an XP farm connected to it. That way the player's pickaxe doesn't break when mining the ice. Yeah, this farm is fast, but it's a snail when compared to Ilmango's bamboo farm. This monstrosity is able to produce over 10 million bamboo every single hour. I told you, the farms only get crazier. The reason it's able to yield so much bamboo without crashing the game is due to its unique collection system. Instead of dropping the items down like most bamboo farms do, this one has hopper minecarts right in front of the flying machine. So all the items get instantly collected before they can cause any lag. Unfortunately, the vast majority of mega farms do cause lag. Take the creeper farm on Scicraft for example. Turns out that 1 million gunpowder per hour comes with painful FPS drops. But don't get it twisted, this farm is a piece of art, literally. When looking at it from above, you'll see a giant creeper face. That's so much effort purely to make the farm nicer. And to absolutely maximize the efficiency of this design, it was built right above the void. In fact, the lowest blocks are touching the void. If that wasn't impressive enough, check out these super long portals. It's crazy how many of the largest Minecraft farms depend on nether portals. And the biggest iron farm is no exception. This breathtaking concept was proposed by Nico, and at maximum capacity, it's able to pump out over 1 million iron ingots every single hour. But there is a slight catch. It makes the game completely unplayable. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend building this in survival. And I definitely wouldn't recommend making a 700 block long quarry. But that didn't stop the Scicraft players from building one on their survival server. Dude, this machine is just mind-blowing. Since it's over 700 blocks long, you'd have to set your render distance to like 90 if you wanted to see the entire thing. It works by grabbing the blocks in front, transporting them up using flying machines, and then a TNT takes care of the rest. Sounds quite simple when I say it like that, but in reality, this quarry has a ton of redstone. The only mega farm which doesn't have any redstone is this big boy right here. Not only is this the biggest cactus farm in all of Minecraft, it also can't be any bigger. That's because cactuses only grow when there's a player around, and this design covers the whole radius. Bro, shout out to Ilmango. He put so many hours into these projects. When I found out that they've already started building this mega farm on Scicraft, I almost fell out of my chair. When it's finished, it's going to be the largest project in the history of survival Minecraft. Alright, so what can possibly top that? Well, how about the biggest Minecraft farm ever made? The player KuzJ designed this monstrosity nearly 8 years ago, and to this day, nobody has made a bigger farm. Now, of course, it was done in creative, since building this melon farm in survival would be straight up impossible. This farm is so powerful that the creator felt obligated to put up warning signs in case people wanted to turn it on. Yo, Minecraft is a great game.